Welcome to the Faith and Happiness Podcast. I am your host, Elle Edwards, happiness coach on a mission to reclaim what it means to be Christian by helping you be youier. Today's episode is actually a bit of a celebration because this is episode number 200. Now, I started this podcast on a bit of a whim last summer 2018. And all through that summer, my goal was to show up, do the podcast, even when I fell over my words, because my thing is actually about encouraging you to do real life. And yes, sometimes we stumble, but it's about getting back up again. And so I like to pride myself on the fact that other than needing to pause and edit out dog barking, because then you can't actually hear anything, this really is what you see is what you get. So you will have, if you're a long time listener, you will have heard me fall over my words. You'll have sort of seen me pause and go like this as I sort of try and get my thoughts together. There's a reason for that. We only get one go at life. We only get, well, at this life at least, the what is to come again. Oof, that's a whole other adventure. But in terms of right now, your moment on this planet, you only get one go at it. And I want to help you live it to the fullest and not just get by every single day, not just be a little bit more content, but actually to thrive and be so joyous and full to the top with God's love and happiness and delight that you impact the world. That's my ultimate why behind all of this. But it's about doing it within the context of real life. And so if I was to make this highly edited and every single thing was perfect and take out the ums and the bits where I'm not sure, that actually wouldn't be honest and real. So having started this podcast on a bit of a whim, like I say, summer 2018, 200 episodes ago, I'm completely blown away by the fact that we're still here doing it. So we did go through a phase of, when I first released it, it was 7 days a week. I then cut it back to 5 days because I like the weekends, I gotta be honest, and just to ease, and yes, okay, they are pre-recorded, but still, I share this podcast in lots of different places, and I just want to encourage you to take time and space to breathe, and so want to lead by example. We went through a phase of having just twice weekly episodes, but as at the time of recording this one, we are now back to Monday through Friday episodes. So in one sense, it shouldn't really surprise me that we're at number 200. It has been over 365 days since we launched, but still. This is from somebody who I used to tell myself that I don't finish stuff because I'm great at starting things. I'm like the queen of ideas. Oh, yay, we could do this and we could do that. And get really excited. And then not so great at sticking with stuff and finishing it. Also, I thought that's actually a story that I've had to go and say, well, that's not really true anymore. There's lots of things in my life that I have stuck to them. I've been married for 19 years, for crying out loud. Got 3 children. Those things I've definitely stuck at. The podcast for 200 episodes. I stuck with writing books. I've published 6 books. So actually that story that I don't finish anything is just that, a story, and it's not true. And so in today's episode, I want to encourage you to think about those stories that you tell yourself that might not actually be true. Maybe they served you for a time, because thinking about it, the reason why it was kind of quite quirky and cool to go, yeah, I'm great at starting stuff, but I don't really finish anything. It gave me permission to change my mind. I love having freedom and flexibility to change my mind. And so if I set myself up as this person who flits around from one thing to the next, then I never have to sort of hold myself to anything. That was the story I was telling myself. That was the way it was serving me. And as illogical as that might sound as I explain it like that, there was a thought process, albeit a subconscious thought process, which actually doesn't make it a thought process at all if it's subconscious. But there was an underlying reason why it was happening. And so I want to encourage you today to think about those stories that you tell yourself. And this links in with labels that we're going to be digging into a little bit tomorrow as well. But thinking specifically about stories, what kind of person do you tell yourself that you are? And we're going to make this an open-ended game. I am the kind of person who, fill in the blank, see what comes up. Now, your brain is wired such that it doesn't like to have those unanswered questions. Your brain loves to answer questions. So what kind of person? I am the kind of person who, and that's what's going to come up. And obviously, I'm not going to fill in that blank for you. I want you to play with this for yourself and see what comes up. Now, when that thing has come up, or things, see, there might be more than one story that you're living by. See what comes up. And then I want you to take it in your hand, write it down, and then look at it and go, okay, where's the evidence for that? Where's the evidence that makes that story true? Now, if you've told yourself a story that is empowering and is helping you to move forward and is making your day-to-day life more delightful, I hope you've got lots of evidence for that story. For example, if I was to say, I'm the kind of person who gets really excited, but I actually do finish stuff, where's the evidence for that? Well, I just told it to you. Married, 3 children, 19 years, books, business, blah, 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 the list of stuff. That's the evidence, right? And so if you've got stories that you are telling yourself that are encouraging and empowering you, I'm hoping that you've got lots of evidence. However, what I'm particularly interested really in the purpose of this episode is I want you to think about those stories maybe that aren't serving you, that maybe cause you to play small or hold yourself back or not show up and shine as this delightful beacon of light and loveliness that you are. What are those stories? Write those ones down and then go, where's the evidence? What actual evidence have I got that makes these things true? Start questioning the evidence. Start going, okay, is that actually true? Or is that something I'm just telling myself? Or is that something that maybe part of your evidence is something that somebody told you once? Like, for example, I'm going to give you a really random, silly example. But when I was a teenager, and I can't remember how old I was exactly, but I remember sitting in school and there were girls flicking through magazines, and there was a throwaway comment that one of my friends said, well, she can't be beautiful, she's got freckles. And I remember that moment. I don't remember the context of the conversation around it, but I remember that moment as clearly as if it was yesterday. Now, I'm 41 at the time of recording this, so it's been quite more than 20 years since I was in school, and in that moment, nearly 30 years probably, and yet I still remember it. And for the longest time, I told myself, well, I can't be beautiful because I've got freckles. I don't know if the light will allow you to look. Probably because the way the camera light works, you might not be able to see my freckles. And also, it's winter. My freckles come in autumn. My freckles come out a little bit more in the summertime. But I've got freckles. I'm a ginger carrier. My youngest child, my son, is a redhead, strawberry blonde, depending on who you talk to. And directly, there's no gingers in our family. But I think I'm a ginger carrier, as evidenced by my freckles. But for the longest time, I would tell myself, well, I can't be beautiful because I've got freckles. If your evidence is based on a throwaway comment by somebody or somebody's some time ago, I want you to question that. I don't want you to take that as gospel. Even if it's teachers, even if it's parents, even if it's people that you care about. Because those people, as well-meaning as they are, I know, parents, we don't try and we don't on purpose say stuff to mess up our offspring 20 years later. We all step forward and try and do life with the very best of intentions. But let's be honest, sometimes adults get it wrong, okay? So if some of your evidence is based on statements that were made by adults when you were younger, even question that. Where's their evidence for that statement? Because we never really know where that person is at in their head when they make those statements. And it's entirely possible that they say things in the moment when they were stressed for perfectly good reasons, it seemed to them, but that still doesn't make it true. So you've got a little bit of work to do as a result of this episode. And so this is going to be a shorter than usual episode to give you time to play with this as well. But I want you to start, okay? I am the kind of person who, fill in the blank, and then start looking for your evidence. Now, if you get stuck with this, if you are a member of the playground, I would encourage you to post your fill in the blank answer and what came up for you in the group. You don't have to do this work on your own. That is my reminder as well, of course. If you're not in the playground, do please come and join us, because then you can get that support and get that help with it. But try it. Unless you try this for yourself, you won't know what the answers and what stuff is going to come up with it as well. And as always, I say this quite a lot, approach this as a game. There's a reason why the modules that we play with in the playground are called games. Modules sound very dull and boring. So they're games. Each module is a game because I want you to come at this with a sense of lightness and fun and no pressure. There are no right or wrong answers. This is just about helping you identify some of those things, some of the stuckages that might be there, and help you to release that and move forward. So come at it with fun and lightness. And like I say, if you are stuck, come and join us in the playground. There are new and more affordable ways for you to come and join us. So if one of the reasons you haven't joined us before now is purely money, there's different ways you can get that support I'm really excited about. So I know I shared that excitement at the start as well. So I don't go off on a tangent again. But try it for yourself. see how you get on, see what comes up. In the meantime, thank you for being here, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.